Hello there, friends. Have you ever had a day when your joy seemed to disappear? When even your favorite games or the silliest jokes couldn't make you smile? That can feel strange, and maybe even a little lonely. But sometimes, those moments are the start of an adventure. Today, we're going to meet Lily. She's just like you. Curious, kind, and full of dreams. But this morning, something important is missing. Join me as we follow her journey to find her lost laughter and discover a secret about how joy works. A secret you can carry in your own heart. So let the story begin. Lily woke up one bright morning, but something felt off. She rubbed her eyes, yawned, and went to the mirror to make a silly face. Normally, she would burst into giggles at her own reflection, but this time, not even the tiniest chuckle escaped. "Strange," she whispered, tilting her head. She tried bouncing on her bed, twirling around her room, and even tickling her own toes. Still, her laughter was nowhere to be found. It wasn't just any laugh Lily was missing. It was her laugh. The one that bubbled up like a fizzy drink and spilled into the air, making everyone nearby smile. Without it, the world felt a little quieter, a little grayer. She decided she couldn't just sit and wait for it to return. She had to find it. So she packed her yellow backpack with a bottle of water, a notebook, and a sandwich cut into star shapes. With a determined nod, she set off. First, she stopped at the village bakery. The baker, a kind man with flour on his cheeks, greeted her warmly. "Morning, Lily. What brings you here so early?" "I've lost my laugh," Lily explained. "Have you seen it?" The baker chuckled and handed her a warm pastry. "Try this. Sweet things always make me smile." Lily took a bite, the sugar leaving a moustache on her upper lip. She smiled faintly but shook her head. "It's nice, but my laugh is still missing." From the bakery, Lily wandered down the cobbled lane to where the cheerful postman was sorting letters. "Good morning, Lily," he called, waving an envelope in the air. "Off on an adventure?" "I suppose so," Lily replied. "I'm looking for my laugh. Have you seen it anywhere?" The postman scratched his chin thoughtfully. Maybe a good joke will bring it out. Let me see." He rummaged in his pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. "Here's one. Why did the cow go to outer space?" Lily shrugged. "To visit the moon," the postman finished, grinning. Lily smiled politely, but the sound she was hoping for still didn't escape. "Thanks for trying," she said. The postman handed her a bright red envelope as a keepsake. "You never know. Maybe the laugh will arrive in the post." Lily tucked the envelope into her backpack and headed toward the outskirts of the village, where the houses gave way to rolling green fields. A warm breeze ruffled her hair as she followed a winding dirt path into the meadow. Wildflowers swayed gently, and bees hummed lazily from bloom to bloom. It was peaceful here, but Lily's heart still felt heavy without her laughter. She spotted a puppy chasing butterflies, its little legs bouncing like springs. For a moment, Lily's lips twitched, and something warm stirred in her chest, but it still wasn't enough. She sighed and sat under a large oak tree, wondering if she'd ever hear her laugh again. Maybe it was gone forever. Lily leaned back against the tree trunk, feeling the rough bark press against her shoulders. She watched the clouds drift lazily across the blue sky, shaping themselves into fluffy animals and castles. Suddenly, a tiny rustling sound caught her attention. From behind a clump of grass, a small squirrel appeared, but it wasn't empty-pawed. No, this squirrel was wrestling with the largest acorn Lily had ever seen. It was nearly as big as the squirrel itself. The little creature huffed and puffed, tugging the acorn this way and that. It wobbled dangerously, rolled sideways, and bumped into Lily's foot. She stared in surprise as the squirrel blinked up at her, as if to say, "Well, are you going to help me or not?" Before she could move, the squirrel attempted to push the acorn again, but it slipped and tipped right into her lap. Lily gasped, then let out the tiniest snort. The squirrel tilted its head at the sound. Lily clapped a hand over her mouth, startled. That almost sounded like a laugh. The squirrel scampered up onto her knee, chittering excitedly, and then tripped over its own tail. That did it. The snort turned into a giggle, the giggle into a chuckle, and the chuckle into a bright, bubbling laugh that spilled into the meadow. Lily laughed until her sides hurt, the squirrel looking quite pleased with itself. Her laughter had been hiding all along, just waiting for something unexpected and wonderfully silly to coax it out. When the laughter finally slowed, Lily wiped her eyes and smiled down at the squirrel. "Thank you," she whispered. "I thought my laugh was gone forever." The squirrel gave a little nod, or maybe it was just twitching, and darted off into the grass, leaving the giant acorn behind. Lily decided to keep it as a reminder of the moment her joy returned. As she walked back toward the village, she noticed how bright everything looked now. The wildflowers seemed to dance in the breeze. The puppy still chased butterflies, and this time, Lily laughed out loud at its clumsy leaps. She stopped by the postman's cart. "You were right, my laugh did arrive today," she told him. He chuckled and waved as she continued on. At the bakery, she shared the story of the squirrel and the acorn. The baker laughed so hard he had to set down his tray of bread. Sounds like the best delivery a squirrel ever made. Lily realized something important. She hadn't found her laughter in a special place or by doing something grand. It had come from noticing the little things, the moments that caught her by surprise and filled her heart without warning. By the time Lily reached home, the sky was glowing with the soft colors of sunset. She placed the enormous acorn on her windowsill, where the last golden rays of light made it shine like treasure. She curled up in her favorite chair with her notebook and began to write. "Today, I learned that joy doesn't always hide far away. Sometimes, it's right beside you, waiting for the right moment to appear." She knew there would be days ahead when her laughter might feel distant again. But now she understood, losing joy doesn't mean it's gone forever. Feelings come and go, like clouds passing in the sky, and that's okay. When you're patient, kind to yourself, and open to life's little surprises, happiness always has a way of finding its way back. And so, Lily ended her day the way she loved best, with a full heart, a warm smile, and a laugh that sounded like pure sunshine. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is to keep looking for light, even on the cloudy days. Your laughter, your joy, they're part of you. They might wander for a while, but they always find their way home. The end.